All right, guys. Hey, Coach Watts here. We're gonna go over the testing schedule and layout for the next 2 weeks of testing. So it's been about 16 weeks, almost exactly to the week, since we began the analyzation phase. So that was like the last week in June, actually. The last week in June till now. And in that analyzation phase, what we were doing was really taking a look at imbalances, our largest glaring weaknesses in both endurance, strength, general conditioning, gymnastics, and everything in between. That's why you guys saw a very large shift in the isolation lifts, in the isometric movements, in the eccentric lifts. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say. In the eccentric lifts. And as well as a lot of the lifts from different positions that you just weren't accustomed to, because we really wanted to find out where these largest glaring weaknesses were and where the responders were for everybody. So we're going to go ahead and get into it now. Where is it at? Oh, it's in my Finder. Okay, so here is the document that you all will have access to. And what this is this is going to give you the general breakdown of the testing. Up here, it's just going to give you guys our main objectives and the different aspects that we're trying to fit. Our objective is to provide our members with a full bank of data to inform, expose, and excite. So you guys can read this a little more in detail, but this is telling you guys exactly what that focus is behind the testing. Some really good points are here, the part where we're talking about the exposed portion. All right, in that exposed portion, we're talking about that aha moment where you realize, man, if I had done this more in the past, this would have definitely given me some results. We talk about how in order to expose that, we're going to have to strip you guys down. So we kind of have to get to the core of what we're doing with our training, get to the core of what those weaknesses are, which could pertain to nutrition, sleeping habits, past injuries, all this different stuff. So take a look at this. This is going to be your guide for the 2-week testing period. So that is going to be, again, 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, starting tomorrow, and then going for one more week. All right, so on page two, you're going to see the schedule. So what the schedule is going to give you is every single day of the testing. This is a format that we created earlier this year, and it went over really well. It's the culmination of about 4.5 years of strength and conditioning and coaching and testing. And it's just a really well-rounded format. To be honest, you could put almost any tests in here, but we're just trying to give you a very rounded way to find out where can I get better, how can I challenge my fitness, how can I find the new scales to help me progress, and everything in between. So if you take a look here, you're going to see every single day. One thing I'll say is that there are some notes down here. Make sure to take a look at those notes. No matter what your level of performance come, because there will be scales. All the classes will have specific times set up to make sure that we keep you on par. And even if you have injuries, when we've done this testing in the past, even people with injuries still came and they were able to get some type of baseline, still feel involved with the programming, and they actually found some other ways to get better. So take a look at this. The other thing I'll point out is that you'll see day one that's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. When you get to day 4, that's what we call a recovery or testing makeup. So like most of the top athletes that you guys watch, the CrossFit Games athletes, they'll kind of go 3 days on, take a day of recovery with a little bit lower volume, and then pick back up like Friday and Saturday. So in essence, that's kind of what we're doing, just because we don't want the volume to be extremely high for you guys. So you guys will see here, right here on day 4. All right, so when you come to class, it's going to be some mobility that we'll kick off with, 20 to 30 minutes of structured work. Our goal with that is to increase your blood flow, to prevent injuries, mentally kind of let you kind of come down and prepare for another day of testing as well as with the next week, and then flexibility. So you'll come, there will be work. You are going to get a workout. It's just going to be a little bit lower stress on the central nervous system, and we kind of want to drop your volume down so we can really pick it back up the next day, because we've got some heavy testing. Okay. Here you're going to have a checklist for your test. So if you kind of miss some days, or you're not sure, you just want to see, I believe it's like 22 or 23 different individual areas that we're testing. So here's a checklist, and you can kind of follow that and have on your own. Feel free to print this out. Testing makeup days. So anytime that you miss testing, I would not suggest, or we would not suggest you just doing a crap load of testing, like 2 or 3 days of testing in a row, like in one. It's going to beat you up, and you're not. Remember that the way you test, we want to also retest you. So this exact same format is what we're going to follow when we come back for the retest. And depending on what the feedback is going to be from our testing, it might be 6 weeks, it might be 12 weeks, it might be another 16 weeks that we retest. But we'd like to retest before the open. So if you miss a day, you've got open gym times listed here, times that you can come and do it. And also, like we said, Thursday is going to be a day where, look, the volume is going to be a little bit lower, so you can come and know that you're not going to be behind another day. All right. And last thing, we've got just some general FAQs here for you guys to take a look at. A lot of basic questions that people would ask, we tried to answer. So take a look at this. If you guys have any questions, just post them to the Facebook and print this out if you want to have it for yourself. Or I'd say probably the most important pages are to print off the schedule to have, and then the page 3, the checklist. All right, guys. Take it easy, and see you guys this week.